Y'all know Tennessee people, they just left, so he's in the cell by himself. He keep all that money on him, man. I know he got a few stacks. Man, let's get this money. Y'all ready to get him? Man, say less. I'm definitely ready to ride on him. You heard me? Dude ain't number about 5'11". He got all that money and he think he just gonna floss around the cell like that? No, I got to have it. Say, bruh, we can do it the easy way or do it the hard way, but you need to get that bread out. Come up off that bread. I'm not trying to hear nothing about you ain't got nothing. Come up off that bread or we gonna take it. So you a tough guy. So you don't got nothing, right? You don't got nothing. Man, let's ride on this fool. Man, let's ride on it. What? Yeah, you better come up off of it. That's what I thought. Hurry up. Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, man, nah, it ain't even that deep. Hey, dude got a banger. It ain't that deep, bro. It ain't even that deep. Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Before I get into today's story, understand that I'm the self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better. Meaning that anytime I drop a video or story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. So if you're on your way to work, you're at work, you don't feel like being there, as we so often don't. You're on your way home from work, you need to laugh, you need to cry, perhaps you're trying to lay down and take a nap, or you're trying to go to sleep at night, depending on whatever time you're listening to or viewing this video, or you're just in the mood for a good old-fashioned true, keyword being true, penitentiary / life story / life experience, this is the channel for you. If you like your 8, 12, 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better, baby. So with all that being said, there is a message. So I'm at the gas station probably about 2 nights ago. And I'm actually at work. You know, I had to stop and get me some gas or what have you. And it was probably about 3 people ahead of me in line. There's a dude at the counter, and, you know, he was kind of taking a while, what have you. You know how it is when you're in the gas station and people at the counter, you like, man, I wish they hurry up or whatever. So dude ends up turning around, and he sees me, and I see him, like, we lock eyes. Pause, double pause, triple pause, matter of fact. And he's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man? He looked familiar, but I'm not really, you know. He was like, you don't even remember me, do you? Right when he said that, I remembered exactly who he was. Tennessee. See, Tennessee, we were locked up together briefly way back in 2008. Christian County Detention Center. Let me give you all a backstory. Let me give you paint a picture so you can understand, if you will, exactly where I'm coming from. Y'all rock with me. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Jump in the comments and let me know where you're chiming in from. So I'm at a jail, Powell County Jail. Now, I've told you all several times before, in Kentucky, they don't always send you to the penitentiary. They don't always send you behind the fence and behind them walls with the lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, and birds. Although I have been there several times, this particular time, I was at what's known as a Class D facility. Class D facility is nothing more than a county jail that's made, in a sense, to accommodate state inmates. A state inmate is someone that's doing state time, felony time. So instead of sending you to the pen, they'll just keep you there. Every once in a while, it's kind of like a needle in a haystack at the time, you may get sent to a sweet Class D facility. At the Class D facility that I was at in Powell County, Kentucky, Stanton, Kentucky, it didn't get any better. You wear your own clothes, have your own money, you have your own TV, CD player, whatever you want within reason. 50 people that it held, I'd say 25 people had phones. They really didn't, you know, they knew that we had phones. It's just don't flaunt it. Don't put it in their face. Best facility that I've ever been to. One morning about, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, they call my name. I wake up. What do they want now, man? I had kind of been having some discrepancies because I didn't like getting up, going in the kitchen. See, I worked in the kitchen. I had to get up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I was not feeling that shift at all. Put me in the laundry or let me work a different shift. But waking me up at 3:30 in the morning, not with it. This particular time, I only had 3 more months before I went back up for parole. I had been up for parole twice. They gave me 18 months, which means a setback. You not going nowhere. Come back and see us in 18 months. Then I did that, went back, thought I was going home. They gave me 12 more months. So I did the 12. Well, I did 9 months of the 12. So I got 3 months left, as I mentioned. Hopefully I'm going home at this particular time. They wake me up. They come at me with the big garbage bags, the big black garbage bags. When you see those, either you going to the hole or you getting transferred. Pack it up. Where am I going? I don't know. They just told me to tell you to pack it up. What'd I do? I don't know. They said pack it up. All right, whatever. Now, really, my pride is hurt. After all, I've already mentioned I was at the sweetest spot. Any place that I go from there is only going backwards. See, I had just gotten back there maybe 4 months prior. I got in a couple fights, got into it with the staff because I didn't make parole the second time when I thought that I was going to make parole. And they shipped me somewhere else. It was terrible there. I wrote them. All right, man, I'm going to act right. I'm going to do right or whatever. A couple people knew me in the jail. I guess they, kind of favored me or what have you. They brought me back. I guess once they brought me back, they didn't like the fact that I didn't really like working in the kitchen. So they say, you know what? We got something for his black ass. Get him out of here. And ship me halfway across the country. Not literally the country, but it felt like it. I was in Christian County, Kentucky. Right there on the border of Tennessee, Knoxville, I believe. I get there. I'm debating in my mind, like, man, should I try to sneak my phone in? I'm like, I don't know how much, how thorough they're going to, because I had a lot of property in my bags. I don't know how thorough they're going to be. I only got 3 months left. I bet not. So I elect not to try to sneak my phone in. After the fact, hindsight's 2020, clearly could have gotten my phone in easily. But nevertheless, they sent me to the cell. I believe it was cell 901. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they sent me to 901. I get to the cell. This cell is huge. I'm talking about it looked like a penitentiary dorm. I never seen the 3-stack bunks. You know how like typically a bunk, your bunk beds or what have you, you got your bottom, your top, but these went three levels high. So you got your bottom, the middle, and the top. They put me on the top. I'm like, oh my God. Only time I seen bunks like that, it was like on TV when they showing like California prisons and prisons that are overcrowded. So I'm looking around. I don't know nobody. There's not a soul from Lexington in that piece. Hey, man. Predominantly black dudes in there. A couple white dudes or whatever, but it was predominantly black. I never will forget I'm walking to my bunk. I'm looking for, the bunk that they assigned me to. And my bag bust. When my bag bust, some of my commissary fell out. Had grippos. Man, them dudes seen the grippos. It's kind of like they rushed. They didn't necessarily rush me, but they rushed over there to help me. So I'm watching. I had like the little individual bags. I probably had like 20 bags of grippos. I had commissary for days. Probably, 6 or 7 bags fell out or whatever. So I had to make sure wasn't nobody trying to get me for my bags. You see, in this particular jail, they didn't sell grippos. So it was a hot commodity. I had dudes literally offering me $5 a bag for the grippos. No, my brother, you got to get your own. Only got 20 bags left. I got to make these last because I'm not going to see any more grippos until I get out. I start to wonder, am I going to have problems over these grippos, man? See, that's how petty jail can be. They see that you have something that they want. Guess what? They coming for it. And I know I'm going to get into it about these grippos, man. So I get to my bunk, I start to put all my stuff away. First thing you do when you get to the your cell or your area that you're gonna be living in, check your mats, check the lockers, check under the bunk, make sure that there's nothing that was already there, or make sure that somebody that lives in that area isn't trying to stash something or hold something there in your spot. You make sure that everything's cool, and you get your little spray bottle, get your paper towels, you wipe everything down, sanitize everything. Then you put your items in your locker and your bedspreads and pillowcases and, things of that magnitude. I get situated or whatever, I get to kind of walking around the cell, just kind of, trying to familiarize myself. But it's kind of hard to familiarize yourself in an unfamiliar environment. Again, I didn't know anybody. Hey, bro, where you from? A couple people that was asking me where I was from or whatever. I'm telling them, ain't nobody from Lexington in there. Nah, man, there was one dude, but he's in another cell or whatever. So I'm just like, man, it is what it is, man. Couple days go past, week goes past. Now, initially when I got there, before I get to the couple days and the week that went past, I couldn't call anybody. They wouldn't let me make a phone call. When I first got there, you have to have a code to call long distance. Area code is 270, Christian County, 859 in Kentucky, in Lexington. I can't even make a phone call. I get to the cell. I don't have an account set up on the phone, and it's a different phone system that they use in Christian County. I had a phone all this time, so I never even had to get on the phone at the jail. I can't reach anybody to tell them that I've been transferred. Dude named Tim. I think Tim Wharton, I believe is his name. Shout out to Tim, man. He had his girl call my people for me, let them know. They set up the phone account, put some money on the phone, so I'm good. I'm able to call home or what have you. So like I said, I'm getting familiarized. I already got money because I brought money down there with me. Now, at this jail, it was sweet just as well. So you got a lockdown side, which is the county side. But then once you go to the state side, the food is better. You get double portions and you can wear your own clothes. But even on the county side, you couldn't wear your own clothes, but you could have MP3 players. The food was good. They didn't use like Kelwell or Aramark. No, they had regular people cooking in the kitchen. Food was immaculate. You could have your own money, as much money as you wanted. Same way as it was in Powell County. You literally, if you had 500 on you, you could just have 500 on you. You know what that means? Gambling. All day, every day. From the time we woke up, it was poker. It was shooting dice. One of the two. I'm starting to really, get familiar with the area. Everybody's cool. Nothing but hospitality. Shout out to 270. Shout out to Christian County, man. I didn't have no issues, and I had one issue, and I think dude was just kind of trying to, test me, see where I was at. Once he seen I wasn't having it, man, I didn't have no issues. Clearly, they had numbers, strength in numbers, but they didn't even take advantage, man. They was like straight hospitality, man. I rock with Christian County, man. Shout out to Big Blim. Shout out to Eric Merrick, Trick E. See what I'm saying? There's a couple of people that I remember that I was locked up with or what have you. And so, time's going on. I'm starting to be more and more comfortable. As comfortable as one could get in jail. So I'm like, man, I'm cool over here. I don't even want to go to the work side, the state side. I'm straight over here. See, you have to start over. You had to start on the county side where I was at. You may be there for about a month before they move you to the other side. I done got cool with dudes or whatever. One of the dudes I was cool with was Tennessee. Same dude that I just told you that I seen in the gas station. Hadn't seen him literally since 2008. Tennessee was about my complexion. He had some long braids. I always thought he looked like the rapper DJ Quick. If y'all not from, if you're familiar with DJ Quick, if you're not, care to, go ahead and Google it. I always thought he looked like DJ Quick, man. Probably weighed about 170 pounds. Tennessee's probably about 5'11", let's just say. Could be 5'9", could be 5'9.5", could be 5'11". It's all the same to me. So Tennessee's about 5'11". The whole world's 5'11". Tennessee loved to gamble. Every day he was just one of the dudes that on that dice table, man, he would kill the dice games out. Every time, man, this dude would win. Now, initially, I didn't know this because, I was still new to the cell. But Tennessee always wore, like the long john pants. He had like a couple pair that he would wear. He had a sock. And the sock, it was like something that he had made. He had his money, it was kind of like his wallet. And he would keep his money at the bottom of the sock. And then he would have that sock wrapped around his waist, literally wrapped around his waist. And so the money would be like, it's kind of tucked like inside of his his long johns, if that makes any sense. Basically, he wanted to keep it close to him wherever he went. This guy was sitting on about $25, $28, $3,000. $2,500, $2,800, $3,000 at all times. And come on, Ken. Why does he have that much money in jail? Let me tell you. Tennessee had gotten, he was cool with one of the officers. The officer was bringing him packs of Marlboros. I would imagine it probably just started off with a pack or two. And as time went on, as the clientele grew, the amount of packs that the officer was bringing in grew as well. Tennessee would pay an officer $100 for a pack of Marlboros. $100, Kens? $100. Because let me tell you why. Cigarettes in jail is, man, it's crazy. They took out smoking in the Department of Corrections. They took out smoking in Kentucky years ago. But guys still need to smoke. They need to get their fix. That's their fix in jail. I never smoked a cigarette, so I don't really know the importance of it or whatever, because I ain't never smoked. But at the same time, I see it seems like almost everybody in jail smokes. It's like I'm the outcast. I'm the strange one. You don't smoke? Man, this motherfucker don't even smoke, man. So, Tennessee will pay the officers $100 for a pack. They bring the pack in to him. 20 cigarettes in a pack. He busts them down. He busts each cigarette down into 5 different cigarettes. He may not have any rolling paper, so a lot of times, sometimes he would have the rolling paper, sometimes he wouldn't. If he got the rolling paper, now he got to tax you a little bit more. If you didn't have the rolling paper, dudes, they give you little brown Bibles in jail, like little mini Bibles. Dudes was literally tearing out the pages from the Bible and rolling up with them. Just what it was. Essentially, off each cigarette is $25 being made. Like I said, he bust them down into 5 different cigarettes. It's $25 times 20 cigarettes. What does that equal? $500. Minus the $100 that he paid the officer, that's $400. Tennessee's running through a couple packs of cigarettes every day. Literally every day. So the officer's bringing him in, I don't know how many, but I know the officer was probably bringing him in 4 or 5 packs at a time. Officer's making a nice, probably $1,000 a week or whatever. Tennessee, he's killing it. Everybody comes to him for the cigarettes. He's the only one. Every once in a while, somebody else may come up on some cigarettes. But in the major scheme of things, Tennessee's the plug. Problem is, he's having all this cash. Wasn't no Cash App back then. He has all this cash on him. I believe him and his girl at the time, they were kind of, going back and forth or what have you. So he would send some money home, but obviously he don't want to put all his eggs in one basket. So he just said, you know what, man, I'm going to just keep my bread on me. Tennessee had a couple partners, that was from Tennessee or what have you. One of them ended up getting shipped to the hole. One of them ended up getting transferred. And then the other one went to like a program or something like that. Like he was waiting to go to the SAP program, Substance Abuse Program. That's a program in Kentucky that they offer in the penitentiaries. And if you go through the substance abuse program, even if you don't even abuse, you don't have a drug problem or whatever, 95% chance you're going to make parole. Tennessee found himself in a cell all by himself as far as the individuals that, were close to him. Didn't make no difference. Tennessee was a real gangster, man, for real. He's still killing the crap games out. He's killing the crap games. It seemed like every time we shoot dice, maybe 3 or 4 different times, sessions per day. He's winning on the poker table as well, but the dice is really, that was his forte. That's what he did. A couple dudes started to plot, man. Like, nah, man. This ain't going down like this. Now, it wasn't the individuals that was from Christian County. I got the utmost respect from Christian County. See, in 2008, they had a riot at North Point Training Center. When they had that riot, they shipped everybody. Oh, man, they burned that bitch down. You heard me? They burned it down, man. Google it. Riot, North Point Training Center, 2008. So a lot of the inmates, the lower level inmates whose custody scores weren't that high, They got shipped to Christian County. Not all of them, but some of them. Now, they weren't in the best of spirits by being at that jail, because you bring me from a prison yard to a county jail lockdown? Nah, man, so they going off or whatever. So it's probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them dudes in our cell. They plot. They gonna rob Tennessee. Tennessee never had an issue prior to that. They gonna rob him. They found out about all that money that he got. You know, people talk. He got all that money on him for real? Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. Plus, he's the plug. He's a cigarette man. Man, we got to have it. They try to soft press Tennessee. They catch him in the bathroom one day. Now, this is already this is something that they had already arranged and planned out or what have you. They catch him in the bathroom. What's up, man? You know what it is. Get it out. Get what out? Man, get it out. You know what it is. It's 3 of them. They run up on him. Nice size dudes or whatever. Man, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. I ain't got nothing for you. They run up on him. All right, man, hold on. One of the dudes, he has like a lock in the sock. All right, man, hold on, man. All right. I don't want no problems, man. Now, the thing about Tennessee, he was going home any day. He had gotten a 2-year sentence, and he already had like maybe 3 or 4 years. But the 2-year sentence was supposed to be ran concurrent with the 3 or 4 years that he already had. But something had happened with his paperwork to where they ran it wild, which means they ran it on top of the time that he already had and ran it consecutive. So he's waiting on his paperwork to come back from the courts. Once they correct the paperwork, they go back in and calculate his time. He's time served. He's, back to the world. He's already frustrated every day, but you really couldn't tell it. But him and I, we would talk, we would chop it up or whatever. So I kind of knew, some of his personal intricacies, if you will. He's waiting to go home. He's trying to stay calm. He's trying to, So he's in the bathroom that day, as I mentioned. All right, man, hold on, man. All right, I got you, man. I don't want no trouble, man. I'm just trying to go home, man. So he reaches. Remember I told you he would wear like 2 pair of long johns. Shorts over top of them, obviously. He reaches down in his long johns, in which they figure he's going to get his wallet. As he reaches down, he comes up out of his long johns. He came up out his long johns like Zorro. Z. Cut a Z in one dude's chest. Z. Man, they see that big hammer that he pulled out. They take off running. Other dude, he's messed around. He takes off running, but he's cut up. They take off running. No, don't run now. Don't run now. But he catches himself before he runs out of the bathroom. He takes a sock and he wraps it around the sword of justice for the cameras. See, there was cameras in the cell, but it was blind spots. The cell was so big, dudes would get in fights, and there was certain areas to where the COs couldn't see what was going on. There was no panic button in the cell. There was no glass. Everything was straight concrete, just block. You might not see a CO for hours. You can't even really get the CO's attention. Even if you banging on the door, you really, really got to bang on the door. But the door is like way, way at the front of the cell. He's chasing dudes around. They all, scatter and go in different directions. Obviously, he can't chase 3 people at once. He's chasing one individual. Finally, the COs see exactly what's going on. They run in. Once they run in, they grab Tennessee. He didn't got rid of the sword of justice. I don't know exactly what he did with it, but he didn't got rid of the sword of justice. He don't got nothing on him. They take him to the hole. When they take him to the hole, they come in, they search his property, they take his property, they get it out of there. Because a lot of times, man, when you go to the hole, people will go in and steal your property. If you cool or, you on the up and up and people rock with you or whatever, they're going to make sure don't nobody touch your stuff. But if don't nobody really, know you or they're not cool with you like that, man, they subject to go in and rob you. They go in, take his stuff, the COs, when I say they, take his stuff to the hole, whatever. They end up having to take the other dude to medical. He's bleeding so bad he can't. There's no way that he can, because sometimes like when you get your wig split or you get in a fight, you get busted up or whatever, you don't necessarily go to medical. You just kind of stay out the way for a few days, a week or so. This dude it was too much blood. He was bleeding. Now they knew that Tennessee had cut dude up. They figured that what he had was a sword of justice, but that sock was over top of it, so you couldn't really prove it. It's not what you know, Jake. It's what you can prove, huh? You think my guys are going to take your word for it, Jake? Tennekee's in a whole pending investigation. The individual that they ended up sending to medical that got cut up or whatever, he doesn't tell. He keeps it solid. Man, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. Sir, we just clearly seen you running on camera and you're bleeding and you're cut up. And we see this individual, this assailant, has an object in his hand, which appears to be some sort of weapon. I don't know what y'all talking about, man. After about a week or so, they had no choice. Had to let Tennekee out. Came right back to the cell. He comes back to the cell. They had moved the dude. They're not going to put them both in the same cell. They ended up moving the dude. I think he ended up going to another facility because he was cut bad, man. He was, man. Tennekee already had respect anyway. It was just these individuals that came from North Point that had a problem with him. There's still two more in the cell, though. They didn't say a word to Tennekee. Tennekee didn't say a word to them. But he kept his eyes on, he kept his head on the swivel. They ended up transferring me, I don't know, maybe about a week after Tennekee came back. They sent me over to the work side. I didn't even want to go. Some of the OGs in there was like, bro, we rock with you, man, but go over it. Because if you tell them you don't want to go over it, they may report that to the parole board and they see that you don't want to go out and work. And here you have it. They give you another deferment. Like, you know what, man, you're right. But I was cool on the lockdown side, man. I get to the work side. It's different. I don't know anybody. It's kind of like starting over. I get over there. I don't know anybody. I get my clothes. They give me a job out in the community. Every day I'm going out in the community. It was so beautiful because I'm in the community in Christian County. And one day I'm at they got me at the fire station. One day I may be at the Habitat for Homes. And then on Friday nights, we would go out and the high school football games, we would clean up like all the trash and stuff. And we could have whatever we wanted that was left over from the concession stand, bring it back to the jail. Man, it was a beautiful thing, man. They treat you so beautiful. Just the people, the hospitality in Hoptown, Christian County, man, 270. So I'm over there and I ended up getting a job at like the convention center. That was cool. I'm at the convention center one day and I could swear I hear my name over the loudspeaker. But you know how it is in a convention center, like it's kind of loud. I'm tripping, man. Why would they be calling my name over the loudspeaker? I'm tripping. I continue to do my little job or whatever. One of the dudes, the inmates, he was like, Kens. He was like, somebody wants you on the phone. Somebody wants me on the phone. He's like, yeah, we've been calling you over the loudspeaker. I was like, man, I thought I heard my name over the intercom. I'm not knowing exactly what's going on. I pick up the phone. Hello? They got good news. I got bad news. Like, man, what's going on? Bad news is, man, you're not going to be working here anymore, man. It's hard to get on at the convention center. I'm like, man, what did I do? Typically, I don't even like going out working when I'm at a jail, but this was cool. You eat whatever you wanted to eat. You meet women. You got your own clothes. It's cool. Good news is, man, if you can get your ride today, you're going home. You made parole. She ain't got to tell me twice. It was odd because I wasn't expecting to go up for parole for another 3 weeks or so. Nevertheless, I had made parole. I'm happy, man. I get back to the jail and my people ended up coming that day. They got about halfway there and come to find out they didn't have all my information that was required. So they ended up having to drive back home, about a 3.5 hour drive. Ended up leaving. Well, they ended up turning around rather, going back home. I got out the next day. They wouldn't let me stay in the jail. They literally kicked me out of the jail. They was like, it's against our policy. Once you make parole, we can't keep you in the jail. So they kicked me out of the jail. So here I am walking around Hoptown with just a black bag, just my mail, because everything else I left. And the dude was so cool that we worked for. He was like, listen, man, if you don't get a ride home, here's my phone number. If you need a place to stay for the night, if your people can't make it today, call me up, man. and I'll come back and get you. And it was just straight hospitality. Nevertheless, people ended up making it. I made it home. And before I got transferred over to the work site, that was the last time that I had seen Tennessee. Often wondered what had happened to him. I knew that he was on his way home, but I often wondered what happened to him. And lo and behold, the other day, it's crazy how the things work in life. You know, I always say, and I got this from my granddaddy, you know, two mountains will never meet, but two men will, you know. I think it should be two people will. Two men, that's borderline, you know. But nevertheless, trying to keep my pauses down to a minimum. He was like, bro, what's going on, man? I said, man, what you doing down here in Kentucky, man? Man, I operate 3 trucks and I'm about to buy another truck. He's like, man, you interested in, you know, getting on the road? I was like, no, man, I'm not, man, but I appreciate it. He said, man, it's great money. I'm telling you, man, I'm about to get my 4th truck. I said, nah, I'm straight, man, but I appreciate it. So I ended up getting his, you know, his information, his phone number. We exchanged numbers or what have you. But it's just one of the crazy things and crazy stories that you will see in jail, in prison. Can you imagine? I don't know what a box of or a pack of Marlboros go for now. 16 years ago, 2008. Can you imagine making $100 off of a pack of cigarettes? This dude made so much bread. And one day when we was talking, when he came back, he said, bro, I'm not even going to lie to you, man. He said, since I've been in this cell, he said, because I was here for like 6 months before you got here. Maybe 6 months. He said, I done sent home over 30,000. He said, but I stopped sending as much money home because I got to keep some for myself. My girl, she's still there. She answers the phone, but she's just kind of getting a little impatient. And because I was supposed to been home and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and send out my bread. And then she, you know, she's gone on me. Now I'm with nothing. So I keep, you know, a few thousand on me. But I done sent so much money home, man. Grinding these cigarettes, man. A straight grind. Officer done came up. Officer, you know, like I said, makes about $1,000 a week. Tennessee's making his money. Everybody's happy. Worst case scenario, if he gets fired for bringing in contraband, but it's not dangerous contraband. It's not drugs. It's not cell phones, anything of that magnitude. Now, speaking of cell phones, once I came home, it was probably about a year later. I'm watching the news. And I don't know why, because as I mentioned, Christian County, Hoptown, a.k.a. Hoptown, it's like 3.5 hours away. But for some reason, they showed it on the news that day. Inmates posing in the jail. Stacks of money. Cell phones. They on social media. They dressed. They got all type of, you know, Polo, Nike, Gucci. With, you know, remember, you could wear your own clothes once you got to the work site. They didn't barely even pat you down when you came in. Like, especially if you knew the CO. Everybody knew each other in that town. They might, okay, go ahead. Wasn't no strip searching or nothing like that. They treated you with respect, with dignity. But at the same time, dudes was bringing in stuff left and right. These dudes was on the news, and they were jumping on Facebook, and because, you know, Facebook at that time, it was just now kind of starting to become popular. I got out in 2008, so this is 2009 at this particular time. They on Facebook flossing or whatever. Somebody sees them. As a result, they come in and take all the money. Now you get strip searched, so it's harder to have phones. Inmates always going to find a way, though. A lot of the privileges, a lot of the things that you were once able to do there, stopped instantaneously, all because of those videos that these dudes felt the need to floss. Once again, man, shout out to my dog, Tennessee. I told him that I had a YouTube channel. Shout out again to Christian County, a.k.a. Hoptown. And I want to give a big ups, and I want to give a shout out to, you like prison content? I don't know, dude, but I've been watching this channel, man. And it's C601 Music. C601 Music. He does prison content. He was in Tennessee not exactly sure what part of Tennessee, but he tells some real live prison stories, man. You know what I mean? And he gets deep with it. Gets deep with it, you know what I'm saying, as far as the, prison stories or whatever. So I definitely want to give him a shout out. I can tell that he hasn't really been doing it that long. Now, the reason I say that he hasn't had his channel that long because I looked at the amount of videos that he has, but he's going to be big in his game if he keeps going at it, man. So y'all go over to C601 Music. Check him out if you like him prison stories, man. And he got some nice content, man. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. I've been reading my comments. I'm sorry that I can't get to everybody at this point, but I respond as much as I can. A couple people, hey, Kens, I'm not getting the notifications. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why either. Only thing that I can do is I would just say check the channel daily. I upload almost every single day. Certain days I'm going to start to upload, twice. Now, when I do the uploads, the additional uploads, I may not always make my stories 30 minutes or better. Maybe a 10, 12-minute video, 15-minute video. But y'all just check my channel out and I don't know what's going on. But just know, one thing for certain, two things for sure. When you check the channel, I've definitely uploaded something. Real Kens TV, man. Salute.